Ten Network welcomes you to Champaign for Big Ten Gymnastics today. It's the Big Five qualifier inside the State Farm Center. Nebraska, Ohio State, Illinois, Maryland, and Michigan State. They're all looking to showcase their skills and also qualify into the evening session of next week's Big Ten Championships. Nebraska, they're hoping by the end of the day they'll celebrate not only a Big Five title, but a regular season title, but they're going to go against the biggest all-arounder in the Big Ten from Ohio State, and of course, those Illini from Illinois. They're hoping to steal the show today at home as we walk into a championship-like atmosphere here in Champaign alongside former Big Ten champion Shreya Musser. I'm Bernie Guthrie. You get a chance talking to these coaches just to get the sense of how important this meet is, how important it is to finish in the top three and make your way into the final session next week at the Big Ten Championships.
It's very important for today to get into that top three, because next week you want to be in that evening session. It has been done before that the champion came from the morning session, but typically you're going to find the Big Ten Championship to come from that evening session.
We should see some phenomenal gymnastics today because we have one of the top gymnasts in the entire conference. We start with Ohio State's Alexis Mattern. She's won 5 all-around titles.
She's currently ranked first in the all-around, second on the floor. She is a powerhouse on the vault and the floor, and she's the first gymnast in 4 years from Ohio to get that Big Ten Gymnast of the Week.
And of course, you can't count out the Illini. They are at home today. That's obviously a big advantage for Illinois, and they bring to the table a sophomore, and Lizzie Ledoux. What has she done as a sophomore? She's won 17 event titles.
She's also not gone under a 985 on the balance beam, which is incredible. She's such a competitor, and she is a perfectionist in everything she does. But
there's a lot on the line today in Champaign. Nebraska, they'll be at least co-champion if they can win the Big Five. We'll have rotation number 1 when we come back on the Big Ten Network. For one of 2 Big Five qualifiers in the Big Ten. Illinois, Maryland, Michigan State, Nebraska, and Ohio State, all part of the Big Ten Conference. And right now the story at the top of the Big Ten, it's Nebraska, Michigan, and Iowa, all with a 4-1 record. So if Nebraska wins this Big Five meet, they're assured that they will be at least co-champions, obviously, depending on the result today that happens in Iowa City, where Michigan and Iowa are represented. Maryland is going to begin on bars. Sarah Fowler is going to start things off for the Maryland Terrapins. And Brett Nelligan, they talked about, since we watched Maryland take on Michigan a couple weeks ago, it's been nothing but good things for the Turtles.
Yeah, they've definitely grown after the last time we've seen them at Maryland. They've had great meets leading up to this one. Beautiful handstand. So far her lines have been flawless. Dismount. Beautiful. Wow. Starting off with a stuck dismount. That was a beautiful routine.
Great start for Maryland, coming off a season high performance last week where they scored a 195.8. Michigan State's going to start on vault. This has been a tricky apparatus for them. Roya Shirley to begin, a sophomore from Virginia Beach.
She got that stuck landing. She did a tucked full. Now that's not a 10.0 value. That's going to start at a 9.95. So that's why all these Yurchenko fulls, it's really hard to get that 9.9 score.
Great crowd on hand here. All 4 apparatus going at the same time, so maybe a little more focus needed, obviously, by the individuals competing.
Yeah, there's a lot more going on, so it's very important to stay in your own bubble.
Illinois starts at home. They're on beam. This is their best event. They're third in the Big Ten. We've seen a high score for them of a 49.425. They start with Bridget Hoden, and this is what you want to have. You have the 7th best beam worker in the conference starting off your lineup. 9 times out of 10, she's going to get you off to a great start.
That's exactly what you want. You're looking for that first girl up to hit a solid routine to set the pace for the rest.
Houghton loves the Big 5. Last year, she matched 2 career high scores as a sophomore on beam and on floor.
So far, she's looking very confident up on that beam. That was a beautiful illusion. That's a very difficult skill right there. Wow. I don't think you could have asked for a better routine to start off with.
Beautiful routine for the junior. A moment ago, Michigan State back on vault. Up second, Allie Hoyer. Hoyer, just a freshman, working the vault and beam this year for the Spartans. She had a career-high vault her last time out against Bowling Green.
Lots of power. She had that one step back, but great form throughout the vault.
Second up for Ohio State, they are on floor. Jamie Stone comes in second in the Big Ten.
On that pass, looked like she buckled her knees.
Jamie Stone, second team All Big Ten. Just her second appearance in the last 5 meets for Ohio State on floor. Carrie Fagan in the Ohio State team. Had some big performances early in the year, particularly the meet we saw where they competed against Minnesota. Ooh.
She landed with her feet too far in front of her. She wasn't able to save it.
Well, 6 compete, and they are hoping that they're going to be able to drop that score by Jamie Stone.
Yeah, she's going to add a little bit more pressure to the rest of the team.
Second up for Illinois on beam, Hallie Rowe. Sophomore from Texas. She's 10 for 10 on beam routines this season. Bridget Houghton began with a 9.875.
Very nice. So far, she's been solid. Sign up for the dismount. Looking for a stuck landing, and she got it. Beautiful.
Rowe is 11 for 11, and back live on the floor, this is Olivia Apley for Ohio State. We just saw Jamie Stone with a fall on her final pass, so a little more pressure here for the freshman.
Beautiful full in.
Sister Victoria Leonard as well for the Buckeyes. Those scores. And a Wong a 9.625, Stone a 9.125.
Scoring's going to be a little bit tighter today as we are heading into the championship season. The judges really start to crack down. That was a hit routine, exactly what Ohio needed.
Buckeyes hoping that Apley will finally give them a big score after a challenging start. Moment ago up third for Michigan State. Anna Gamello, a vault specialist.
Wow, that was very nice. She looked like she had just slight movement on that foot.
Gamello a 9.725, fourth up for Illinois, Karen Howell.
It's a beautiful mount there. All the gymnasts have to go down on the beam and touch their torso. So you'll see that either at the beginning of their routine for their mount. If not, they'll have to find time to fit that in throughout the routine.
Illinois a 3-for-3 start, 9.8s or better. First three competitors for the Illini. All a great story. She started off her college career with some big misses on bars and floor, but Illinois, they have stuck with her. And she's coming off her second highest all-around score of the season. Sometimes it's all about the transition.
The transition can be hard. You got to learn how to adapt. Showing off her flexibility there. Right into the dismount. That was a beautiful routine. They are just building momentum on this event.
Back to the floor and live their junior Taylor Harrison. Olivia Apley a 9.775.
You're definitely going to be wanting to see some 9.8s here. Great routine, just a minor mistake on that third pass there to step into the side.
Fifth up for Illinois, 4 stuck routines so far. Mary Jane Horth, she's 14th in the Big Ten. She's won the beam 3 times this season. Something she's never done, competing here inside the State Farm Center. Last time it happened for Illinois, 2012.
So far, she has been solid.
We welcome those of you joining us that just watched #1 Maryland in lacrosse. Bernie Gunther and former Big Ten champion Shreya Musser with you here inside the State Farm Center. It's one of 2 Big 5 qualifiers happening around the conference today. Illinois right now on beam, that is where they start, and they are 5 for 5, and this is an important day for these teams because the top 3 teams advance to the final session next week at the Big Ten Championships. And for Nebraska, if they can win this Big 5 qualifier, they're assured at least they will be Big Ten co-champions.
Yeah, they definitely want to be in that evening session for next weekend at Big Tens.
2 remain for Ohio State on floor. They had some lower scores to begin, but Taylor Harrison, a 9.825. Merkel's already made 1 pass. But obviously with Merkel and then the Big Ten leader and the all-around Alexis Mattern to go, they need some big scores here at the end, especially to offset that 9.625.
Yeah, they will need some big scores, but they still have Alexis Mattern left, and she puts up a big score for Ohio.
Important routine there for Ohio State. Last to go for Illinois. They can only add to their totals. 5 for 5 so far in the Big Ten leader on beam, Lizzie LeDuc. We told you at the onset she won 17 event titles this season. She has been dominant for the Illini.
I'm very impressed with Illinois, how they just came out and are attacking this event. It's not easy to start on beam for your first event, but they are not letting it stop them. Just a minor wobble there.
LeDuc's 4 event titles on beam. She's hit every routine. She's been 9-9 or better 4 times.
They will certainly be looking for a 9-9 here. She needs to be next to flawless on the rest of her skills. There was an Anodi, that's a very difficult skill, doing a back handspring with a half turn. Another little wobble there. I don't think she'll be able to get a 9-9 on this routine. She's really going to need a stuck dismount right here. And she does it.
Still going to be solid routine for Illinois. Final competitor for the Buckeyes on floor, the Big Ten leader and the all-around Alexis Mattern.
Big double layout right there.
She's second in the conference on floor. She's won the floor exercise 4 times this season.
Very nice. That has potential to be 9-9.
That completes the
routine there for Alexis Madden. Last to vault for Michigan State. Nicola Deans, 7th in the all-around in the Big Ten.
Wow, big vault.
She scores a 9.80, and that completes rotation number 1. Nebraska, they're joining the party. They'll be on the floor when we come back for rotation number 2. Women's gymnastics on B10 is brought to you in part by State Farm. Talk to an agent today at 800 State Farm. Back in Champaign, rotation number 1 in the books, and Illinois is the host, and they are in the lead. And Coach, you take a look at the first round. Getting to start on beam, obviously a little bit of a challenge, obviously people talk about, but you guys handled the challenge. You get a career high from Karen Howland of 49.175. How special is it for you guys to be hosting this Big 5 qualifier?
You know, I think it's just super exciting for our team to be in the State Farm Center. We host regionals this year, so to have a trial run with the Big 5 is just thrilling.
Coach, coming off beam, you're in a bye now. What do you do with your athletes during this downtime to kind of prep them for the next event?
You know, they'll go in the locker room and they'll just get loose. They'll turn on some music, have some fun. We came off of a strong event for us, so I think they're just going to keep that adrenaline rushing so they can carry it to floor.
Coach, thanks so much. Best of luck today, and we're looking forward to seeing some great gymnastics today here inside the State Farm Center.
Thank you.
Kim Landers, head coach of Illinois. They got off to a great start. You know, it's not easy starting on beam.
Definitely not easy starting on beam. That's one of the events that teams, you know, dread starting on. So they handled that event very nicely.
Illinois comes in as the number 19 team in the country as far as their RQS score. Nebraska, we're finally going to get a chance to see a team that is coming in as the number 13 team in the country as they come off a bye. And the good news for Nebraska is they have a chance really to go end-to-end without a bye, which could be a positive. Dan Kendick really like that.
Yeah, that's definitely a positive because, you know, you don't have to build up all this energy and then have to pull it back down on a bye. So I think that's definitely a big advantage, you know, coming out and now having all 4 events back-to-back.
Ohio State moving to floor, and they've got some work to do. Their score 48.950, so they did a great job of recovering from a slow start, a 9.6 from Amanda Wong, a 9.125 from Jamie Stone, but they got 9.825s the rest of the way, including a 9.85 from Alexis Madden, and I think that after a sluggish start with the first 2 gymnasts, you'll probably take that, won't you?
Oh, definitely. I mean, to them, those scores might be a little low, you know, than what they've been getting at previous meets, but, you know, we are at a championship meet right now. It's the first event, so judges are a little tight right now, and I think they should be very happy with those scores.
Right now, Illinois leading 49.175. Ohio State second at a 48.950. Maryland is third at a 48.850. Michigan State a 48.675 on vault. They didn't even vault their final gymnast, Gabby Douglas. Content with their score. It's a Maryland team now moving to beam. This has kind of been the sticking point for them the last couple of weeks, but they feel like they have a chance to finish in the top 3 as well. But now our first look at Nebraska, 13th in the country. They start with Grace Williams, the junior. She's won 18 event titles during her career. The majority on balance beam. We'll see her on that later.
Almost went out of bounds there. That would have been 1/10 if she did go out of bounds.
Our team standings after the first rotation: Illinois in the lead with a 49-175. Maryland, Ohio State in the mix. And as we mentioned, this is a huge competition because the top 3 teams are going to compete at night next week. Janae Van Putten is going to begin things for Ohio State, the senior from Piscataway, New Jersey. She'll be returning home next week for the Big Ten Championships.
I'm sure she'll really like that. Nice vault, minor hop back.
Van Putten a 9.725. And a reminder, tomorrow on BTN, it's the other Big Five as Iowa, Michigan, Minnesota, Penn State, and Rutgers challenge each other from Iowa City. They'll determine the other seedings for next week's Big Ten Championships. Coverage begins at 3:30 p.m. Eastern on BTN and BTN To Go. Next up on floor, Danielle Breen. Breen had a breakout campaign last year, halfway through her sophomore season. She won the all-around title last year at the Big Five meet.
Very nice. Another phenomenal routine for Nebraska.
Grace Williams began with a 9.825. I'm sure Danielle Breen is going to get a good score as well as we go back to the vault. And Stephanie Merkel,
next up on vault,
All Big Ten second team a season ago junior from Petersburg, Ontario.
Up next on bars for Michigan State, Elena Legoski. Up next on balance.
Trying to hold on to that landing. She looked like she had a little bit of knee bend in the air. The judges will take on that.
Her score 9.725. Third up for Nebraska on floor, Megan Schweihofer. She had career highs last year at the Big Five, came on beam.
Getting a little pep talk from her coach. Some gymnasts like that before their routine. It helps calm their nerves.
Schweihofer competing in the all-around today for Nebraska.
close call. She's going to need a flawless landing on this last pass. And she did it. Very nice. So I would think maybe 2 or 3 10s on that second pass for almost going out of bounds.
Moments ago, Nicola Deans, the senior for Michigan State. It's been a fabulous senior year for her, setting career highs on vault, floor, and in the all-around as a senior.
Wow, that was a huge ginger. Nailing all those handstands. Now she's looking, she got really close to that bar. Looked like not even just her toes hit the bar, but almost her whole foot.
Michigan State interim head coach Mike Rowe with her on the right side of the screen. Deans with a 9.8 on vault. Got off to a great start. We'll keep an eye on Deans. Meanwhile, back to the vault for Ohio State. Jamie Stone up 4th.
Wow. Very nice vault. That's a hard landing. It's a blind landing. And she nailed that.
9.85 for Jamie Stone.
Here's another look at that dismount. So you're going to see she gets so much height, but she doesn't let go of the bar soon enough. And she gets right on top of it. Oh, that had to hurt. Hopefully she's okay. Probably be checking for concussions. Looked like she hit her head on the way on the floor. She's gonna have to see if she can finish off the next event.
2 remain on vault for Ohio State. This is Olivia Apley.
Another big vault.
A 9.85, so Stone and Apley, they're building scores here inside the State Farm Center with the top all-rounder in the Big Ten, Alexis Mattern, still to go. Back to bars, waiting the score for Nicola Deans. This is Lindsay Lemke, who's won 2 bar titles this season, up 5th.
So far, great form throughout the routine. Full pirouette going into that dismount. Double back. A few steps back. That was a hit routine.
State Farm State of Success. Alexis Mattern ranked 1st in the Big Ten in the all-around, and the first time in 4 years the Buckeyes have had a Gymnast of the Week.
Wow. Very nice. Not quite the stuck landing I think she was looking for. But very
sort of 9.825, so Ohio State with a 49.050. Second to last for Nebraska, Jenny Lang, who's 6th in the conference on floor. So far they've had good scores, including Danielle Breen tying a season and career best 9.9. But really 9.825's surrounding, so Nebraska still could use a few big scores from Jenny Lang and Ashley Lambert, the final two competitors. Lang, a Big Ten distinguished scholar majoring in psychology. She's won 21 event titles during her career, including the floor exercise last year at the Big Five.
Beautiful landing. Great routine. I don't know, I think that could be 9-9 worthy.
Jenny Lang coming off a season high 9.925 last week at the Masters Classic. Good start for Nebraska. Back to beam. Sarah Fowler, the Maryland senior, is last to go. It's been a rocky beam routine. 9.5, 8.8 at the very beginning, and there's going to be another fall counted for Maryland.
Trying to fight there. She touched her hand to the beam. That'll be an automatic 3/10. Dismount ending with a double full. Got that landing. A little disappointed there. It's not something they want to happen. They want to have happen at a meet like this.
All right, last to go for Nebraska, Ashley Lambert, the senior. The coaching staff said that she came in on a mission. We saw her score perfect 10s on vault twice as a sophomore. She just brings some huge, explosive gymnastics to the floor.
Yeah, I love watching her floor routine. I was watching her a little bit in the warm-ups, and she's so sharp in everything that she does.
Next up for Nebraska on floor, Ashley Lambert.
Double layout. Doesn't even take a step on that one. I love that not only is her tumbling powerful, but her dance is also powerful. I think that's something the judges really like about her floor routine.
A lot of fun.
So much fun. This is the event where you get to put on a show. She certainly does that. all about entertaining those judges. Another solid landing. Wow. What a fun routine.
They're already at a 49-150. And after Ashley Lambert's scores are tallied, the numbers are going up on the floor for Nebraska. That's for sure.
Yeah, I definitely think that'll be a 9-9 or higher. Here's her double layout. She just gets so much height in the air, spots that landing as she comes around, and just keeps her feet together. Double pike for that last pass. A little bit of form with those toes, but solid landing. There's the reaction from coach. Loves it.
Great start for Nebraska. They've got their eyes on being the regular season champions. Illinois back on the floor when we come back for rotation number 3. Welcome back to the Big 5 qualifier here at the State Farm Center. A reminder, next Saturday, it's the 2017 Big Ten Women's Gymnastics Championships. All 10 Big Ten teams will be competing live from Rutgers. We'll have 2 shows live at noon and live at 5:30 p.m. Eastern, both on BTN and BTN To Go. We're getting close to the halfway point as we welcome you back to the State Farm Center alongside former Big Ten champion Treya Musser, Bernie Gunther, and a story so far. We got a chance to see our first look at Nebraska early on, and how about their start? 3 9-9s on the floor. Big score for the Cornhuskers.
Yeah, big scores. That's definitely how you want to come out and start your first rotation, coming out strong and getting scores like those.
And this is a big meet for all the teams that are competing today, because we talked about next week we're going to be at Rutgers for the Big Ten Championships, and the top 3 teams in this meet are going to be in the evening session competing against the top 3 teams from Iowa City.
Yeah, it's important to be in that evening session because that's typically where the Big Ten champion is going to come from. Like I said earlier, it has happened once that the morning session won the Big Ten championship, but that only happened once, so it's not typical.
And so Nebraska, they have a lot on the line as well. If they can win this Big 5 qualifier, they are assured that they will at least be a co-Big Ten regular season champion. It's all about bringing home the hardware, of course, but as you saw in the results graphic, Ohio State, they're in the lead at a 98-0. Illinois with a 49-175. They were the leader after the first rotation. But again, because we have teams going in and out of byes, that makes the scoring a little bit challenging to keep up with.
Yeah, it's hard to say even after 2 events, just with the byes. It's, not until that last event we're really going to see it come down to the line.
Everybody warming up here for rotation number 3. Maryland is on bye. Nebraska will be on vault. Ohio State on bars. Michigan State on beam. And Illinois coming back off the bye to go to the floor routine. It's been a good event for Illinois. They're 5th in the Big Ten. It's an impressive start, though, for Nebraska. Getting that 49-3 with 3 9-9s on the floor.
Yeah, and coming off the floor, they're going into another powerful event, which is vault. It's going to be, I think, to just nail those landings.
Dan Kegdig and Nebraska 4-1 on the season. Nebraska right now tied at the top of the Big Ten regular season standings with Michigan and Iowa. Illinois, a top 20 team in the country as well. And Nebraska hoping that their money today without their freshman Taylor Houchin. She has been so good for Nebraska, had a career high night breaking Nebraska's freshman record with a 39-650 to win the all-around 2 weeks ago, breaking a 16-year-old Nebraska freshman record. But they are without her this week, trying to make sure that she is in tip-top shape for next week in Rutgers.
And on floor for Illinois, Haley Rowe.
So Illinois on floor, off of the bye, and Haley Rowe will start. Sophomore from Mesquite, Texas. She's 9 for 10 on floor routines this season.
Beautiful landings on that routine. It's a great start for Illinois.
It's been a great year for Illinois. Live on vault, this is Grace Williams, second up for Nebraska after Abby Epperson scored a 9.825.
Wow, very nice. Just the 1/10 on the hop. Take a look at the height she gets off the table. A little bit of arm bend on the table, which the judges will deduct on.
But a great event for Nebraska, the third in the Big Ten and 12th in the country on vault. And before Grace Williams, Abby Epperson here is her 9.825.
That was a beautiful vault, 9.825. That is a great way to start off this rotation.
Next up for Illinois on floor, Brielle Wynn.
So after Haley Rowe got Illinois off to a good start, this is Brielle Wynn. A sophomore from Orange County, California. Illinois, after scoring above a 196 twice last season, they've reached the mark 5 times this season. Made some major improvements this year. Rowe with a career high 9.85. It's a good start for the Illini.
You can see there she was landing on that mat. That is not a deduction. Save on that landing there. She had a lot of power moving out of that.
Illinois 2 for 2 on floor. We'll wait the score for Wynn. Karen Howell will be up next, but moving back to the vault, and Megan Schweihofer scored a 9.825. We've yet to see a score above a 9.85 yet on vault today.
Wow. Beautiful vault. Stuck landing there. Again, that Yurchenko fold does start at a 9.95.
And remember, Nebraska, without Taylor Houchin, she's the third best vaulter in the Big Ten. That could still make a big difference.
That could make a big difference, yes. We need that half a tenth to get that 9.9. That's really hard to do.
Ohio State on bars. And Michigan State's on beam. This is Roya Shirley. Tori Hewen with a 9.775 and Allie Hoyer with a 9.725. The first two scores for Michigan State.
Landed, looked like she was already crooked in the air. Didn't look like there was much she could do to save that. Good save there, throwing her head back on that jump. Beam is a calmer event, but you still want to remember to kind of have speed down that beam. There's a certain rhythm you want to hit. If you go too slow, that's when it can kick you off the beam in your skills. The dismount. Gainer full off the side to a stuck landing.
Live on bars, Alexis Mattern on bars. Solid scores, 9.75s or better for Ohio State. By now, they look like the team that's slotted as number 3 to get in that final session, but of course it's going to be a matter of how they finish. Oh!
Wow, she had so much height on that Jaeger, but she was too far away from that high bar. She couldn't get that dowel, that grip, right over the bar.
It's been a challenging last couple of weeks for Alexis Mattern since she moved into that top slot and the all-around.
It actually looked like she was too close to the bar. She could tell where she was at in the air and kind of held back those arms, but really should have stretched them out over the bar. She has 30 seconds to get back up onto the high bar and finish the routine. Winding up for the dismount. Big pull out. She got that landing, but you know she'll be disappointed for that release move.
One of Nebraska's big vaulters, Ashley Lambert, she scored 2 perfect 10s on this apparatus as a sophomore.
Wow. Stuck landing. She's liking that. So much power. She could see the floor as she came around in the air.
She's got a 9.850. Fourth up for Illinois. Bridget Hoden, Brielle Wynn. She's the 4th competitor so far today to score a 9.9 on 4. That's a career high. Karen Howell with a season and career high 9.85. In fact, they're 3 for 3 on career highs for Illinois to start.
There's that illusion. She also did that in her beam routine. Wow, another great routine for Illinois.
What a performance for the Illini so far on the floor exercise.
Here's her second pass, front handspring into a 1.5, right into a back layout step out. Beautiful form. Coach loved it.
Well, with Alexis Mattern falling, a lot of pressure on Keelan Hoffman, who anchors the bar lineup for Ohio State. She's 6th in the Big Ten. I'm sure she's been here before.
I'm sure she has, and that's why she's in this position, because she can handle the pressure. Beautiful lines so far. That's definitely something the judges are going to reward. Getting those handstands all the way up. Double front dismount. Oh, good save. Few steps back. That'll hurt her score with all those steps.
So they'll be able to wipe away Alexis Mattern's 9-0. 2 remain for Nebraska on vault. This is Sienna Kraus.
Wow. That was a 1.5. Now that does start at a 10-0.
Back live on Florian Buchanan, the senior for Illinois. Illinois has posted 2 9-9s on floor now, with Wynn with a 9-9 and Bridget Hoden with a 9-9. All 4 season and career best.
Having some fun there, playing to the judges. Solid routine, another solid routine for Illinois.
Well, the good news, they are going to be in great shape by the time Lizzie LeDuc comes to the table already with a big score, and the second best floor exercise worker is going to only be able to add to the Illini's total. Final vaulter for Nebraska, Jenny Lang, who's 6th in the Big Ten on vault.
Very flawless in the air. Just a 10th on that hop.
And the last to work the floor, Lizzie LeDuc.
Coach is probably setting her up with her keywords.
Playing with a 9.825, so Nebraska with a 49.175 on vault. LeDuc won the all-around 4 times this season, twice named the Big Ten Gymnast of the Week. She won the floor title at the Salt Lake Regional last year with a career-high 9.95, the first Illini freshman to qualify for the NCAA championships as an individual in almost 10 years. She loves this event.
She sure does. You can see it on her face. Some Something one of my old coaches told me was that throughout your whole floor routine, if someone were to take a photo of you, you should always have a perfect photo, meaning your eyes should always be up off the floor. And that's something I think she definitely does. Judges love to see that emotion and the expression. What a fun routine.
Well, the 17 titles she's won in her sophomore season, 6 have come on 4, and you can see why.
Beautiful form in the air. Finds that landing. Team is so excited.
They put together a huge floor routine, season and career best all over for Illinois. Things are just getting heated up between Illinois and Nebraska. Rotation 4 comes your way next. Rotation, while Ohio State may have the largest total, they have just one apparatus remaining. It's Illinois in the lead by a 10th over Nebraska. They get the second highest floor exercise total in program history. Lizzie LeDuc, a 9.925, and it was basically all career or season highs for the Illini. Spectacular performance for them on floor with a 49.375. And a reminder, you can follow the Big Ten Network on Instagram and get the coolest Big Ten sports content before anyone else. Follow BTN on Instagram. Now at Big Ten Network to see the best images and video of the Big Ten. Michigan State is on bye here in the 4th rotation. Illinois moves to vault. Nebraska is on bars. Ohio State on beam. And Maryland is on floor. At the bottom of the screen, you can see the start order for this 4th rotation. This meet really tightening between Nebraska and Illinois. And that's kind of to be expected because these are 2 top 20 teams. Ohio State, they're going to have their first score in the books. They're going to be the leaders in the clubhouse after the 4th rotation as they finish on beam. This is a sticky situation for Ohio State on beam because they have counted a fall their last 2 meets. They only once broke 49 this season, was against Iowa. And right now it looks like Ohio State is going to be that 3rd team moving into the final. Of course, there's still 2 rotations, but right now they're the favorite to take that slot. But they obviously have to finish strongly here on the beam, an event that they've struggled with the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, their goal should definitely be to get, in that 49 category. If they can do that, I think they will secure a spot for that in the top 3.
And well, we've seen a handful of 9.9s on the floor. That's been the only apparatus where we've seen a 9.9. Lizzie LeDuc leading the floor exercise with a 9.925. Bridget Hoden has the highest score on balance beam with a 9.875 from Illinois. Sarah Fowler got the uneven bars top total so far from Maryland with a 9.825. And on vault, got 4 gymnasts with a 9.850. And Alexis Mattern is the leader right now in the all-around picture, but of course, because of buys, you could see the differential. Jenny Lang being just 8.95 and Lizzie LeDuc at 8.975 to move into first place.
Unfortunately, Alexis Mattern did have that fall on bars, so now it's kind of fair game. If the other two can hit all 4 events, they may be able to take that top slot.
So Ohio State, their final apparatus is the beam. Stephanie Merkel, second team All Big Ten junior, is going to lead off for Ohio State. And it seems a little different because Ohio State, it's still the challenge of finishing on beam, but we still have one more rotation, so you're like, oh, are they really finishing on beam? But they are finishing the meet on beam.
Right, and they kind of have to sit back and watch as that next rotation happens, which, that can be unfortunate to end on a bye. But, I mean, really, in any event, you just have to come out and do what you do and leave it all out on the floor.
So Stephanie Merkel is ready for the Buckeyes.
Chalking up those feet. Gymnasts like to use that chalk for a better grip on the beam. Crucial spot right now as the first one up. Little wobble there. With that foot coming off the beam, that could be anywhere between 1 and 2/10. Beautiful combination, that switch leap right into the dismount. Great start for Ohio. They needed that hit, and they got it.
Now up on uneven bars for Nebraska, Ashley Lambert.
Second up for Nebraska, Ashley Lambert, who's 13th in the conference after Danielle Breen started off for the Cornhuskers with a 9.825.
Huge dismount. Almost got that landing.
She had a season high 9.9 on bars a week ago. Nebraska getting off to a good start on the bars. Illinois in the lead by a 10th, beginning their vault rotation with Aaron Buchanan with a 9.775.
Beautiful vault. Again, just the landing. That's what it's going to come down to on this event. They've got to stick those landings.
So Merkel began the balance beam with a stuck routine for the Buckeyes. This is Jamie Stone up second. And while we wait for Stone, Karen Howell was up second for the Illini. She scored a 9.7. Back live to the beam and Jamie Stone.
save there. Did a 2.5 twist. Kind of under-rotated. She pulled that landing out. Here's that dismount again. She's gonna do a 2.5 twist, which is very difficult. And then you can see there as she lands, her feet are just a little bit too far in front of her.
So Merkel started with a 9.725, up third for Illinois. Ray Balthaser, who is a freshman, smashed her career high in 3 of the last 4 meets.
Wow, that was very powerful.
He's going to match it again with a 9.775, but Illinois is yet to see a 9.8, and Nebraska, who was trailing by a 10, has really taken over the advantage. Obviously, we're midway through this 4th rotation. It's Breen with a 9.825, Lambert with a 9.850, and this is Abby Epperson. She competed for Maryland for 2 seasons before joining the Nebraska program.
Getting those handstands all the way up. That dismount, double layout, solid landing.
Back live on beam, Alexis Mattern. This has been the bugaboo for her the last 2 weeks, has been the beam. Today it was the bars.
Slight series, just a little wobble.
Got solid scores on vault and floor. But her bar score is going to take her out of contention of winning the all-around. She's still going to be one of the main ones to watch next week.
Yeah, she'll definitely be one of the main ones to watch next week. I bet she'll get into the gym this week and, you know, really focus on those mistakes that she made. But great ending to that routine. Only a few minor wobbles in there.
The positive for her is she gets a hit beam routine, something that we didn't see from Matter in the last 2 weeks, as she tries to wipe away that bars routine as they head towards the Big Ten championships next week.
That hip beam routine should definitely boost her confidence going into next week.
Nebraska is putting together a huge bar routine. Sienna Krause with a 9.9. Up fifth is Megan Schweihofer. She's going to stick her name into the contention to win the all-around.
What I love about Nebraska on this event is that they're so precise with everything they do. Going up for the dismount. Beautiful landing, another solid routine right there.
This has been their event. They're tied for second in the Big Ten with Nebraska. Fourth up for Illinois on vault, Sarah Lyons.
Good vault, a little bit low off the table. Maybe not the height she was wanting to get.
Kind of been the challenge for Illinois is they just haven't put together any really big scores on vault. All 9.7s. Last to go for Nebraska, Jenny Lang, after Schweihofer with a 9.925. So she and Epperson with the highest 2 totals on bars so far. It's a career best for Schweihofer.
Another great routine. Beautiful form throughout.
What a performance for Nebraska on bars. They're going to put together a big number.
Here's another look at her dismount. She does a full out. She tries to spot that landing. Just a slight hop to the side.
They were already at a 49.425 before we added Jenny Lang's score into the total.
That's a strong bar score there.
Second to last for Illinois on vault, Mary Jane Horth with their highest vault score, a 9.825.
They're going to be looking for at least another 9.8 here.
Going to give Jenny Lang a 9.8. So Nebraska is going to settle with a 49.425. Up fifth for Ohio State on beam. Janelle Funches. Ohio State with 2 9.6s and a 9.7. While we wait for Janelle Funches. Last up for Illinois, Lizzie LeDuc right in the mix for the all-around.
Wow, very nice. Looked like off the table she might have had that landing, but just a small hop back.
LeDuc with a 9.775, and here is Funches on beam.
This is a very unique way to get up on the beam. Small balance check there.
Next up on floor for Maryland, Alicia Farina.
Oh, good save there. Beautiful double fold dismount.
Two remain for Maryland, Alicia Farina. She's one of the freshmen for this Terrapin team. So I had her struggle on beam. She's already had a pass. But they've inserted her into the all-around, and that's what Brett Nelligan thinks about this Maryland program. So much promise looking for, because they have two freshmen right now that are all-arounders, getting all that experience.
Yeah, that's great experience, and you know, it's for a freshman to only have your all-arounders be freshmen. You know, that's going to say a lot about what they're going to do in the future.
They came in as a team that really was hitting routines, 24 for 24. The last 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago, they had the third highest score in school history on floor with a 49.450. Whatever it is, the championship pressure, the different venue, it hasn't been Maryland's day.
Here's her last pass. She does a double tuck. Beautiful height in the air. Spots that landing. Doesn't quite land with that chest all the way up.
Taylor Harrison is the final competitor for the Buckeyes on beam. Punches with a 9.575.
Another little wobble there. Gainer full dismount off the side to a nice stuck landing. Just looked a little timid up there. She had a lot of pressure on her.
The last competitor on floor, Emily Brockmuller, the senior from Auburndale, Florida.
Sharp routine for Maryland.
Alicia Farina with a 9.8, but it was Nebraska tying a season high on bars. Our final rotation when we come back to Champaign. Next, it's the big show. It gives you in-depth highlights and a complete breakdown of everything that happened around the conference, including the news you're seeing at the bottom of the crawl that Illinois men's basketball coach Jim Gross has been relieved of his duties. We'll have more on that, as well as the full university press conference following the big show comes up next on BTN and BTN to go. The first in the clubhouse today, Ohio State. Carrie Fagan, their head coach, joining us. A 195-350. Maybe not necessarily the result that you were hoping for today, but what do you feel like the team is going to be able to learn from today to carry it in and maybe make some adjustments going to next week's Big Ten championship?
Yeah, I think we started off a little bit slow on floor. We were waiting on a judge to arrive, and so there was about a 5-minute lag before the girls got going. And our first two competitors looked a little cold. We were able to pick it up, and vault went very well. Beam is an event that we've been really focusing on and trying to improve. So we stayed on today, but obviously to compete at this highest level, you got to get rid of those wobbles and balance checks.
Earlier you talked about Alexis Mattern kind of putting a lot of pressure on herself. How do you feel? Do you think she was in her head on that bar routine a little bit? How do you feel she was today?
I talked to her about it, and she thought she was a little bit close to the bar, so she was reaching with bent arms. So she actually probably could have had it. It was just a misjudgment on her part on how far away she was from the bar. But I think she'll bounce back quick and be ready to go next weekend.
All right, thank you, Coach. Best of luck. We will see you next week at Rutgers. It looks like in the evening session, obviously, depending on what happens here in this final rotation.
Sounds good. Thanks.
Carrie Fagan, head coach of Ohio State. They are the leaders with one rotation to go with a 195-350. Nebraska, how about their bar routine? Big separation between Illinois doesn't break 49 on vault. Nebraska tying a season best, and they got almost a half-point lead headed into this final rotation.
From right now, it kind of looks like Nebraska has secured that #1 spot. I mean, we still do have one more rotation to go, but I feel like after that rotation on bars, they're going to bring that momentum right in with them on beam.
Nebraska, they finish on beam, but the good news, they come in as the second best team in the Big Ten on beam. And you see Alexis Mattern right now, she's the all-around leader, but those are the totals that Abby Epperson, Megan Schreihofer, and Jenny Lang need to get or surpass to become the all-around winner. So really it comes down to Nebraska. Who's going to be the best performer on beam? That's going to decide who's the all-around winner here at the Big Five in Champaign. I think as we head towards Rutgers as well, we know that Illinois very capable of some big numbers on beam, big numbers on floor, but They're going to have to find a way to get some higher scores than 9-7 on vault if they're going to be able to compete at the Big Ten Championships.
Yeah, they're gonna have to go back into the gym and really work on sticking those landing on vault, and also just getting more height, more amplitude in their vaults.
Michigan State, they're going to finish on floor. It's the Spartans' top event. Maryland finishes on vault. Nebraska finishing on beam with basically a half-point advantage, trying to be the regular season champions. They know that if they win here, they'll at least be co-champions, depending on the final results from Iowa City, where Michigan and Iowa also tied atop the Big Ten standings with a 4-1 record.
Given the touch period is now over.
And so we begin on beam with Sierra Hassel, the freshman from Johnsontown, Iowa. First time competing on beam this season. That's some pressure.
That is some pressure, for sure.
Previously, she had only made 3 appearances. They all came on floor, but she earned an exhibition spot on beam a week ago, had a solid performance, and with that, Taylor Houchin, the all-arounder in the lineup, the freshman has gotten the call.
On that sheep jump, losing eyesight of the beam. Little wobble there in the dance. Oh, just the dismount. Wow.
How about that for answering the call?
She certainly did her job.
Sierra Lyons, a moment ago, began things for Illinois on bars. Texas State bar champion in high school. She's never scored below a 9.7 her 4 years in Champaign and averaged a 9.8 this season.
Just a little short on her handstands. There's that double layup dismount. Beautiful landing.
Lions with a 9.825. The first to vault for Maryland, Kristen Peterman. Freshman from Cambridge, Ontario. That's the other freshman that's moved into the all-around.
Very nice vault.
She scored a 9.775. Abby Epperson, the former Maryland Terrapin, second to go. After how about Sierra Hassel, her first career beam routine, and she scores a 9.85.
Wow, that's impressive. That back handspring back layout. Just kicked her off, she landed sideways. They have room to drop a score. However, that fall will put pressure on the rest of the team.
And they came in with that half point or so margin of lead over Illinois.
There's a dismount.
So we've seen a lot change on the beam. over the years.
Yes, this is the event that really anything can happen.
A moment ago, Karen Howell, third up for Illinois. Lions with a 9.825, then they got a 9.725.
Oh, good save on that handstand. Very nice save on that routine. She was going for those handstands.
All right, Megan Schreihofer is up next on beam. But a moment ago, Emily Brockbuehler, third up for Maryland.
And up next on board for Illinois,
Very powerful.
So the sophomore Schreihofer, her career high on beam came a year ago at the Big Five. She could be the all-around champion, depending on her performance here. Epperson with a 9.225, so of course the goal, it goes without saying, is to erase that. And now Nebraska is going to have to count a fall, and things are going to get interesting.
That is going to hurt them. Things could start to get interesting here. Setting up for the dismount. Got a double twist to a solid landing. Obviously, she looks disappointed about that fall on her series.
But Nebraska, they had some struggles on beam the first 4 meets of the season, but they've been 49 or better the last 4 meets.
This event
They've
is
really got to focus now.
Yeah, this event is really all mental. I mean, you've done your routine so many times, like the muscle memory is there, so it just comes down to your mentality and the pressure.
Fourth up for Maryland on vault, Morgan Bixler with a 9.775.
So close to a stuck landing.
step on vault for Maryland,
Fourth up for Illinois on bars, Mary Jane Horth, who is ninth in the Big Ten in bars this season.
Beautiful release move, going right back down to the low bar. Line up for the dismount. Wow. Wow. Very nice routine.
A 9.950, that's the highest result on bars today. Last of all, Sarah Fowler.
Big vault there.
So there's going to be a 4-way tie for vault champion between Lambert, Sienna Kraus, Jamie Stone, and Olivia Apley, all with 9.850s. And our attention back on the beam with Jenny Lang. They've already had 2 falls. The margin that was a half a point between Nebraska and Illinois has shrunk like that.
series right there. Now is the time when you want to be talking yourself through your routine, saying each keyword before the skill. You can't let any doubt creep into your mind. Beautiful beam routine. Wow. She attacked that set. Take a look at her dismount. Very beautiful gainer off the front with a full twist. Beautiful.
And a moment ago on bars, Erin Buchanan after Mary Jane Horth with that season high 995.
Another great routine. Wow.
A 9.750 is the score. 2 remain for Nebraska on beam. They are going to have to count a fall. This is Grace Williams, the Big Ten co-big beam champion in the Big Ten a season ago. 18 career titles. The majority have come on balance beam.
Another difficult triple series there.
Next up for Michigan State, Alina Lagoski.
Right into the dismount. Solid routine. They needed that. Little boost of confidence.
But it is Nebraska winning the regular season championship, at least a share of it as they win the Big 5 meet today, celebrating, bringing the trophy back after a huge performance today. Nebraska with a 196.650, finishing 2/10 ahead of Illinois. And the other big story, Ohio State, they're going to be competing in the final session as well. As we walk you back with the regular season, at least co-champions. Dan Kindig, you could finally exhale. A lot of pressure on that beam routine. A lot of pressure today for you guys, especially without a Taylor Houchin.
Well, I'll tell you what, you have no idea what went on in the last couple weeks, and someday maybe I'll even share it. But this team just fought, and I'd be remorse to say that, man, Illinois had a great day today, and they pushed us to the limits, and it was really to the limits. The last beam routine. Wow.
Well, when you think about it, it started off with Sarah Hassel. She hadn't even competed on beam for you guys all season long, and she scores a 9.85.
Well, you know, and that's just kind of what this week was all about. And I just feel like people picked up, like Taylor wasn't in anything today, and that's a big part of our offense and a big part of what we do on a daily basis. And we had people step up, and that's what's great about being a good team.
You had a phenomenal first rotation starting off on the floor. After that rotation, what were you guys feeling? What were you telling your team?
You know, the bottom line is Illinois put pressure on us right out of the gate, and my team didn't know it, but the coaches did a little bit. But the bottom line is we just had to stay in the moment. We had to do all 4 events, and all we had to do is what we had to do. And we tried not to worry, and I think at the end, the pressure did get a little bit, you know, on beam, but that's what beam's about. You know, it's still only 4 inches wide, and But I'll tell you what, our anchor three really did what they needed to do to pick that up, and we never quit. That's what I love about it.
Well, Coach, we'll see you next week. It looks like you guys are going to start on beam at Rutgers, but the good news, it's going to be in the evening session. You're bringing home a trophy.
Excellent. We're so happy, and we're happy for Husker Nation, and just thanks for covering this event.
Congratulations,
Thank
Coach.
you.
Congratulations.
Big day for Nebraska here, and the all-around title is going back to Nebraska as well. Abby Epperson with a 39.525, and she just defeated her teammate Jenny Lang narrowly.
She had a phenomenal day today, really just being precise in everything she does. So much tension and the pressure of this meet. She really just came out and attacked every event.
What a big day, though, for Nebraska. What an impressive performance as well for the home team in this championship, as this is how it's going to all look a week from now at Rutgers at 5 o'clock. Nebraska, they're going to start on Bean, Illinois. They're going to have bye number 2, Ohio State. They're going to begin on vault, and you know, for the Buckeyes, Alexis Mattern, obviously some things that she's going to want to clean up in the gym next week, but the Buckeyes, the big news for them is they are going to be in that final session.
Yeah, I think that's phenomenal, you know, that they got that third slot. You know, everyone's got a week to get in that gym and prepare for the Big Ten Championships.
It's going to be fabulous. Live gymnastics all day long next week, starting at noon and 5 p.m. That's going to do it from Illinois. Once again, it's Nebraska. They're the Big 5 champion, at least co-champions in the Big Ten. All-around winner, Abby Epperson from Nebraska as well. Reminder, the Big Ten Women's Gymnastics Championships are next Saturday at Rutgers. 2 sessions live at noon and 5 Eastern. The big show coming up next right here on BTN. For Shreya Mustard and our entire crew, I'm Bernie Gunther. So long from Champaign.